Let's bring in Joel Rubin, who's a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State and a Democratic strategist. He joins us now via Skype. Joel, great to have you with us. So this investigation has now done its part. This phase is now looking at what about that evidence constitutes what's impeachable. What have we learned about that today?
Well, so far, we've seen a significant amount of evidence in the House Intelligence Committee, and the result of that was a 300-page report written by the majority, essentially outlining how the president asked a foreign government to investigate his political rival to help him win in 2020. And the cost of that was to prevent providing American military aid to that government, to Ukraine. So that's the factual basis. And the Judiciary Committee today got into the question of why do we have impeachment in our Constitution? What's the value of it? Is it really necessary? And so those questions are sort of a new set of questions, quite frankly, for the Congress in that format. They don't really get into that question. So now the challenge for the Judiciary Committee is to combine the facts from the Intelligence Committee and the constitutional prerogatives that they discussed today into articles of impeachment.
So we know the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has a big decision to make on whether to move forward with this before the year ends or to wait until next year. What are the risks associated with that?
So it's pretty clear by what we saw today that this committee will pass articles of impeachment. And the Democrats are caught in a bit of a bind because the president has been withholding evidence. He has been withholding sharing of documents requested by subpoena by the Congress. He's blocked his senior officials who are direct witnesses from testifying, like Secretary of State Mike Pompeo or the acting chief of staff Mick Mulvaney. So the Democrats have kind of come to the end point of information gathering unless they wait for the courts to compel that information to come forward. And that could take several months. And that's when we get into the electoral cycle. And it's this catch-22 of wait, and maybe get evidence or keep the process moving, pass it out of the House, which seems likely, and then have it go to the Senate for a trial in January.
Joel, I want to just pivot for a moment to the NATO summit, which just wrapped up outside of London. You know, it was really remarkable to see that exchange between world leaders appearing to mock President Donald Trump. What does this tell us about how the president is viewed on the world stage?
Well, it's not a good sign. President Trump being mocked, not just by Justin Trudeau and President Macron, but also Boris Johnson there, his friend seeming to enjoy the discussion as well. Really looks like the world leaders are kind of tired of President Trump and the way that he engages them at these meetings. And one of the comments was focused on his 40-minute press conference earlier in the day and sort of rolling their eyes at how long those are and unnecessary. So for President Trump, it's a bit of a personal humiliation. For the United States, it also demonstrates how far apart we are right now from our European allies in particular at these kinds of gatherings.
Well, Joel, it's been a busy week in Washington and a busy week for the president abroad. Appreciate you being with us. Thanks so much.